Hello, I'm Susan Long. This is my business. It's Geordie Lane Antiques and Tea Rooms.
Hi, my name's Alan Long. I'm half owner in Geordie Lane Antiques and Tea Rooms.
The shop is located in Balmoral Ridge, Maleny, in the hinterland of the Sunshine Coast, and it's an old farm cottage. It was built about 1940s. We sell porcelain, china, silverware, toys, tools, retro, vintage, LPs, anything that we think might be old and interesting. Often it's when someone's passed away and their lives really in material items. That's what we usually sell, assortment, and often there's history involved about where their life started to where their life basically ended when they pass on, and often we can get a history of where they've been in their life. The shop is old, and we have some really interesting, exciting things here, and there seems to be quite a paranormal aspect to it. I've had many people who I have no idea who they were or who have approached me and told me they feel a presence of assortment of people when they come in. I've been approached by several mediums who have just been drawn to the shop because they feel that there's an energy and paranormal vibrations that they felt drawn here.
In daytime, this is a beautiful, pleasant place to be. Everyone enjoys themselves. But you come down here in the wee hours, like midnight or early morning, and it's the creepiest place I've been in. It changes from day to night, just the atmosphere of the place. You just want to get out.
We recently had a friend up from Sydney who is quite a spiritual person, and she was up here for a few days and decided she would do some photography. It was on just on as dusk came down, and she followed orbs circulating. Each shot she took, it had moved and moved all around this tea room. We have two rooms particularly that people seem to be drawn to and that they've gone into and came to tell us. And in one of the rooms they felt a male presence, and we've actually called that room now, we call it the boys' room.
The reason that came about is we were at the counter one day, and a chap about 30, 35 came up to the counter, and he asked me, "Who's the gent in that room?" And he was the only customer in the shop. And I said, "Well, I don't know." He said, No, the spirit. Who's the gentleman's spirit in that room? And I said, "Well, I don't know. You try and find out." And so it sort of become the boys' room after that. He just said there was a gent in there just looking at the things in the cabinets and sort of just nearly like a customer, but obviously, not a customer, a spirit. Who is this gent? Do you know anything about the history of the place? Why is he here? And that was sort of mysterious. The weirder things are, besides the gent, is a couple of the sightings of the little girl and the older woman that sits in here or goes in that room.
I've had a medium tell me that in the tea rooms here there's an elderly lady who sits later of an afternoon doing her embroidery and knitting and sewing, and often in winter when the fire's on, they've said that she feels about this time of day she feels really welcome. And just loves being here. She seems to be a really happy person. Most of the time I will leave before Alan because I don't like to be here on my own after dark. There's been many times where I've heard coughing and I know I'm here on my own. Or sneezing, I seem to get someone sneezing, and it's usually in the big room at the end. I like to know if a customer has arrived. So we have a small gnome that whistles, and it will only whistle when someone walks past and alert me that they're here. But there's many times when there's nobody here except me, and it's going off all of the time. We've had, over the years, we've had pictures and plates drop off the wall. We've heard a noise, and there's broken crockery on the floor. Objects that I know for certain I've put in one place. I've gone to get them and they've disappeared, and I've found them totally somewhere else in the shop. In the first room, I used to have an old wardrobe that had a central full-length mirror, and as you'd walk past, a second ahead of me was a wisp of someone about 3 foot tall, a child that I've seen.
So what, you saw someone in the mirror?
In the mirror, as I've come into the shop, I've just seen the tail end going out of the mirror as I'm coming past in that first room. Someone small in white, and I believe it's a child. Our little dog is a little foxy dog, and he will come in around 4 o'clock when he knows that the shop's closing, and loves being in here. But there are occasions when we feel that perhaps there's some presence here, whether it's the lady in the chair or the little girl in the mirror. He'll stand in the doorway and just look in, and we cannot entice him to come through that door. We have to go out and get him. We also used to have a monitor where in our house we could hear if there was something going on down here of a night time, because our home is on the same property, and there were times when there was some conversation going on with nobody here.
The weirder things that we've heard over the monitor is baby crying, footsteps. The baby monitor became a bit of a pain because it would keep you awake all night hearing noises. Just that you always got the feel. It's like when I was a child, when you were scared of the boogeyman. I never experienced that until this place at night. It's the same eerie feeling as when you're just a little kid and you're scared of the boogeyman. You're jumping at shadows all the time. You're on edge in here in the middle of the night. Yeah, come on up and buy some antiques. We'll spread the love.
I'm really excited because this film being shot here, it's in the perfect place to do it, even if I say so myself. Sorry. Even if I say so myself. I think it's a wonderful place, and it's always exciting. And to have this movie made here is going to be lovely for me. Come and feel the presence of Geordie Lane Antiques when this movie's done.